Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dave Bristow from Extreme Paint Studio. Hope you're well. Today, we're going to be doing a Lest We Forget beginner tutorial. It's fairly simple. It's going to be a little bit of freehand on the background, but we're going to create the silhouettes like we've done with the samurai and the wolf. But this time, we're going to do a Lest We Forget theme. So we'll have a soldier, we'll have a Lancaster bomber, we'll have some poppies, and we'll do a lovely sunset background behind it as well. I'm going to show you in this video how you can actually do it via vinyl and start to show you the process of doing like livery type work, silhouette type work, even wording and motorsport kind of livery stuff, all by Adobe Illustrator and Sign Cut Pro using a vinyl cutter. So I'm going to show you a little video of me doing a cutout of the soldier and the Lancaster bomber, and show you how you can do that via vinyl cutting. So with a vinyl cutter, compared to using the application tape that I've got behind me, it gives you a much sharper edge, and it actually sticks to the surface really well. So when you're doing things like logos and wording, it comes out absolutely immaculate on motorcycles or cars or trucks and stuff like that. Even on canvas, vinyl sticks to most things and gives you a really nice sharp edge. So I want to show you how I go about doing it in Adobe Illustrator. There are going to be future videos where we go into it in a little bit more depth. I'll simplify it, I'll do some wording or something, and I'll show you every step through Adobe Illustrator and Sign Cut Pro. But for this video, I just want to give you a kind of indication of what it's all about and how we go about doing it. In the next video where I do the wording, I'll actually put the links to the software that I'm using, and also talk about the actual vinyl cutters themselves and the vinyl paper that I'm using to create those vinyl cutouts. So you can spray them, and it's simple process. But today we're going to be doing this Lest We Forget. So watch the video. It's a fairly simple one, but it's really effective, and I hope you enjoy, and we'll speak again soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. So as we can see, we've got this nice silhouette of a soldier in Illustrator. So I've just loaded that. You can see it's just from Google or something like that. So all I'm going to do is expand the image, and I'm just going to grab my pencil tool, and I'm just going to go along each section. At the moment, it's trying to fill the middle section of the image, but if I flip over to the right here, I can just minus out the fill, the entry, the middle part. So look, I'm putting a 0 on it, and you can see it's now just doing the outline. So this is using Adobe Illustrator just to create this silhouette of the soldier. So you want to keep it within the kind of black area. I'm sure there's some new AI tools that I can use to do this a lot quicker, but I'm doing it the old school way. So I'm just going round our silhouette. And there will be more videos where I show you guys how we use vinyl cutters. Let's get that. You can move these just with the mouse. Once they've selected blue, you can just move
your anchor points, as they're called, around. So okay, so I can control minus, which brings the soldier back into view. Now what I need to do, once I've got it all selected like that, I need to select my arrow key at the top and then come over to here, go to the photo behind. This is already selected, my soldier. Then I press the shift key and I click on the mouse and it will switch to the outside image, but leaving that image selected in the middle. And then I'll right click on the mouse, come down to make clipping mask and select. And there's our soldier ready to go. So there's my soldier. This is an A3 sheet I set the actual print up as. So now I can move him down to whatever size I want him. And I think I'm going to have him about there, okay, on our image. So I want him about there. Okay, so we've got a Lancaster bomber. Just going to pull it out a little bit wider. Now what we'll do is we'll zoom in and we'll do exactly the same process. We'll just go, let's go in a bit tighter. It's going to be pixelated, but so I'm minusing out the middle, so okay, we'll go to here, we'll go there. So I've now done the complete outline. I've just zoomed out. I'm now going to do the make a clipping mask by selecting the image and then the outer image, the original outer image, and right click and create a clipping mask, make clipping mask, and then Control C to copy it, then go to our original picture with our soldier at the top, and then Control V, which is pasting the Lancaster bomber in, and we'll just position it wherever we want it positioned. So I'm going to place him at the top here, and that's our image basically. If we want to print that, I'm going to just print a copy of that off now,
and what we'll do is we'll do a traditional version. As we've done today, I'll create you guys a map for you to work to using the Sarrel technique, and then I'll also do a different version. So I'm going to print this off now. So we'll just select A3 size paper. And then we'll fit it to the page, which is perfect, and then I'll print it. Now another thing we can do, we'll just let that print off now, but another thing we can do is we can send this directly to our Sign Cut Pro software from Adobe Illustrator. So once you've got a vinyl like this, we use this for motorsport, for livery type stuff. If you're doing logos or wording, it's the same principle. So I can now go down to Sign Cut Pro, and I can send the image over to Sign Cut Pro. As you can see, Sign Cut Pro is opening, and there you go. There's our image of our Lancaster bomber and our soldier ready to be cut out on our vinyl cutter. I just have to click left on that, and that will cut that silhouette out absolutely perfect. Right, so we've got our application tape map that is on our website, so you can download this. It's ready for A3. I've painted the background black, so we're ready to go. All we need to do is make sure our masking is really down, nice and secure. So just run your finger down it, make sure we've got everything covered. Okay, and then just start cutting out along the lines. I put a brand new blade in the scalpel, so we'll just have to cut this out all the way round. I'm allowing the blades to do all the work for me, basically. It's a very sharp blade, so you don't have to press hard. So if you're going to do this kind of project, make sure you put a brand new blade in it, and then you won't have to press so hard. If you've got a blunt blade, you're going to have to press harder to allow the application to cut right through, and what that means is you're going to put deeper cuts in your board underneath, and we don't want that really. So we want you just be able to run the blade over and it cut the application tape nice and easily. So rather than a blunt blade where you're going to be pushing really hard to get it cut, and then you'll have really kind of load of ridges in your board behind, which we don't want. So I'm just allowing the blade to do the job for me, because these blades don't last too long. They're surgical blades, so they blunt so quickly. So if we keep it light and we allow the blade to do the job, we should be able to get through all of this cut out with no issues. And this is just an example for beginners to get used to doing sort of silhouettes, the same as the samurai and the wolf. It's just getting you used to cutting, getting you used to doing backgrounds, and we're slowly introducing sort of freehand work, but more more simple sort of freehand work as opposed to, you know, real hyper realistic stuff, which we'll get onto later. But keep watching the channel. If you haven't seen our videos before, make sure you like and subscribe, and you'll get to see all of these coming through, and slowly but surely your skill set will grow, and your knowledge will grow on how we tackle all different projects. There's loads more to go. I've got over 100 tutorials to add in. Oh, and don't forget to jump onto the membership area. We're going to be doing some live videos, so you can ask questions. You know, I can showcase people's work. I'll be setting up an email for all the members, so you can forward in your work that you're working on with your original image as well as the piece you're painting, and I'll critique it, and I'll tell you, you know, what I would change, maybe different approaches. Yeah, I'll try and help you out as much as I possibly can, but that's obviously purely in the member area, because there's a direct chat in the member area where people can talk to me directly as well, not only just on the live stream, but you can ask questions through the community chat. There is a community tab on the channel that allows you to talk to me and ask me questions, and we'll be doing things like polls, what tutorials are coming up next, and what ones you want to see me do. You can even suggest, the members can even suggest what ones you would like me to do. Send an email to me and say I want this. Let's just get that there. Hopefully this should all come out. But yeah, there's going to be lots of perks to the members area, and it helps support the channel. It helps support this kind of content, because it is very time consuming for me to do these tutorials. Not only is it painting them, but editing them and planning them, you know, what we're going to be doing next and stuff. So if you can support the channel, then great, I can keep this content going and flowing. Right, so I'm just going to pull this off now. Some areas I may not have cut out perfectly. Perfect. Soldier and Lancaster bomber. Oh, I forgot that middle bit. I have to take that out. Oh, that's not very straight. We'll have a wonky plane. So let's take this bit out of here. Oh, I did cut it. There you go. I didn't take it out. Right, let's get that a bit straighter. Nasty cut line, Dave. Nasty cut line. Make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so all we're going to do is create clouds. Okay, and if you watch, all I'm going to do is just wiggle those clouds up like that. So I'm doing a line, but I'm just wiggling. Okay, now I'll bring in another layer that meets into that one. Okay, a mist in the middle.
Now I'm going to do like a sunset kind of effect. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. I'm just wiggling. And I'm kind of backfilling the area. I want this fairly bright, and I'm going to do like a sunset coming through the clouds. Okay. I've got some cut lines from our previous artwork, but I'm not worried about it because I know I'm going to be painting quite a lot. So we'll just create some clouds. Watch if your paper picks up. What the kind of effect we're after is basically like, this is a hill. He's on the hill. There's going to be a background with a few trees, and then the Lancaster bomber is basically flying over the hill. Okay. So I'm just going to mist as I come down to sort of halfway like that between the soldier and the Lancaster bomber. I know I've focused on just the Lancaster bomber at the moment, and I'll pan out in a minute. I just want you to see what I'm actually doing with the airbrush. Look, wiggle, 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 right? And I want to create some brighter spots. Just allow it to build. Lest we forget, is not detailed, right? So it's a perfect thing for you to practice as a beginner. It's not detailed. I'm going to do some details in a second. I'm just going to move down now to around the soldier, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on a horizon line in the background. So I'm just going to do a line just above the gun sort of area. And I'm just going to get in closer and detail it, okay? And then I'm going to bring in the kind of glow just above that line. Like that, and then I'm going to create a sort of real bright area, and then I'm going to do some shoot, like almost rays coming through, like that, as if it's coming through the clouds. Okay. So we got this kind of sunset-y piece going on. Just chucking some extra lines. Moving closer. If you want detail, moving closer, yeah? If you want clouds, you just move in slightly closer.
Let's bring in another one there. Almost like the tops of the clouds. Where the light's coming down is hitting the top of this cloud. So you can make it up. Just make up your own. Okay, and then we're going to level out the ground a bit here. Okay, we'll just do a little flat kind of plane. We can just sort of put another hill in here. You can kind of make it up however you want it, but just make it up so you can go off like that. Okay, we want to bring this ground right the way down, and then what we want to do is really lighten up this ground at the bottom here. Okay, so I'm just lightening up this area here, the hill as it were. Doesn't have to be completely opaque white. Just want to lighten this bit up. Just use up all this white that I've got in here. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to put some black in my gun. Okay. And then along our horizon line, I'm just going to bring in some trees. So I'm going to get in nice and close. Okay, and just give an indication, a bit like in the wolf one, just a bit of blur in the background. The same we done in the samurai. So we're just along the horizon line. I'm not after detail. Just, you know, a little bit of a hedgerow. Just make it up. Another tree. Just so it's, you know, you can see there's something going on in the background. I'll do a different type tree. Wiggling away. Okay, and because the sun is coming through the clouds, what we can do is just punch out and do a bit of a drop shadow onto the land. Like that, as if the sun's pushing it onto the actual land. And now I'm going to come in and do a little bit of a hedgerow along this, as if it's a hill. Let's do a little bit of a hedgerow. So it's all background work, and we'll just darken up that little bit there, maybe there. Okay, Let's put another one there. Looks a little bit uneven. Like that. No detail in the back really. Keep it blurred. Okay. Now, down the bottom here, we want to use little wires. Okay. And we want to basically, if I can show you that way, I'll tell you what I do, I'll zoom in on this. I just want like a grass-like effect, yeah? And we're just going to go all the way. Keep it within the wires though, yeah? So look, the wires are going to do the job for you. They will get very wet, but look at that for grass. So it's not even just hair, right? You can use it for grass, fur, hair. The wires are an amazing tool. So I've just wiped it off because I know it's getting a bit splattery. And we'll just go again. Don't matter whether you get little bits of paint, like speckles, it just adds to it. But the long and short of it is, you want to just cover this white area. I don't know why I said long and short of it, but losing the plot. We're just going to use some wires. I'm going to use the longer ones because that's getting a bit too wet, so I'll let that dry for a minute. I'm just going to punch through the wires so you can see the desired effect. We're going to be doing other stuff over the top anyway. Obviously, as you get to the top, you don't really want your splatters, so try and keep that to a minimum. Don't go so heavy, maybe. Those little black bits in it just makes it look like other types of foliage or flowers or whatnot. There you go. Cross. Do some longer ones. Just throw it up. Maybe a little bit out of there. Oh, I tell you what I did do. I forgot to take out this middle section. So luckily we're going back in with white now anyway, so I can just white the middle of that. So I'm just going to change the white section I forgot about. I'm just going to bring in just get it to the same value as the outsides. When I say value, I mean lights and darks, right, for beginners. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do some little sort of poppy looking things in the background, and you want these fairly bright. Okay, so just almost like 4 little petals, but make sure they're nice and bright. Do a fair few of them. Okay, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to do a simple one to begin with. So there. Okay. So we grab our application tape, and what we want to do first is take out the whole poppy. Ooh.
trying to do it not quite stuck to the board, but so we'll take out the whole poppy. Okay, make sure it's completely, oh, didn't need that, but there you go. Make sure it's completely stuck down, it says as it folds back on itself. Okay, make sure that edge is really stuck down. Okay, and then we need to white the middle. Try not to get any underspray underneath, so watch your angles. Okay, that's that one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that with some red. I'll just dry that. Give it a little bit more, just to make it that little bit more vibrant. And there's our first poppy. Okay, and while we're here, we can just, while we got the red in the gum, we can now hit the ones behind. So we'll just go over our white in the background. Okay, and we'll make that kind of poppy field. Do that one. Okay, we'll cut out the next one. Let's air dry all that I just done. Going to pan out a bit going on. Let's do, so you can choose whatever ones you want to choose. I'm going to do this one. Okay, make sure that's really stuck down. A bit difficult to get to, but you can take yours off and put yours on a cutting mat or whatever, it makes it easier for you to cut it out. So I'm just going to come round there, up there. Again, I'm going to do it as a hole. In order to keep the video, you know, a reasonable time, what I'll do is I'll just do these two poppies, but when you're looking at the final image you'll see all the poppies where I've placed them, and then you can do your own version. Okay, so we'll take that poppy out. Again, I'll switch up to white. Watch your overspray. Just watch your overspray. Make sure you don't get, you know, any overspray in this area. Just hold that down. Just air dry that, and I'll push it all down again. Oops, stuck my finger in it while it was still wet. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be whiting it anyway. Let's air dry that. I'm rushing it, whereas you guys will be a lot more precise. So let's make sure that's all stuck down. Air dry it. Okay, switch to red and just red it. A bit like we did the rose on the portrait one. Nice and simple. Air dry that. Okay, what we can do now is we can take off our poppies. There's still 2 or 3 left on there, which I will complete. I'll just put those along there. Okay, so I'll put that to one side. I'm going to switch up to black now. So now with our poppy, we've got the various petals. So all we do is we cut off one side of the petal. So you find your shape, which is there. Okay, and I've left that little bit there. So I want a little drop shadow under that. So I'm just going to drop shadow it. There. Okay, and then we pull out the next petal. So I'm going to want to pull that one in. So let's just make sure I've got my shape right. So we put that in. Okay, that's the shape of our petal. And this one is going to cause a shadow like it is there on, it's causing a shadow underneath there. Well, in there is going to be darker, and that's going to cast a shadow over this. So I can take this whole piece out, and I can do a little drop shadow there, and certainly in there. So if I hold it, I'm just going to push into there a little bit. Okay, there. Could do one at the bottom there as well. So let's just get a bit of a drop shadow on there. Just going to darken up underneath. So let's put that big one back on there. So I'm just going to do that little drop shadow there. And we take the big one off. And then we can just do the little dot like things in the middle. So we're getting nice and tight. And then we just push out. Almost create some creases. Right, drop shadow that bottom bit. Push out towards the edge of that petal. And there's your poppy. You can neaten it all up if you want. Get rid of the white sort of background that you've got going on. If you've got any overspray, things like that, look, you just come in, put your petal back, and it will tidy it up for you. Okay, With the other one we've already done, got to find him now, he's here somewhere. There wasn't much going on with that, so all I'm going to do, I mean, you can put a little stem in if you want, like that, and a little bit of a flower. You can have them coming out. I'll get rid of that background one because we had another one of these in the background. And all you got to do is just push up and do a couple of sort of like that, couple of push outs, and then you've got your poppies. So I'm going to reveal the whole picture now so you get an indication of how it should look. And then what we need to do, we take off our soldier, we take off our Lancaster bomber, and our propellers, and then we'll just merge these two in together. So this darkness, so where we've got our silhouette of the soldier, the grass, you could do a little bit of sort of pushing up. You just merge the two together, so you can't see a beginning of it. And there we go, a lest we forget theme. Now what I am going to do is I'll continue on doing these, the last two poppies that we've got here, with the red poppies in the background. But the next video I'm going to show you how we actually write lest we forget. Ooh, left a little bit on there. I'm going to show you how we write lest we forget with the software. As if we're doing a logo or any kind of writing or livery type work. I'm going to show you step by step how I do the writing, and then what we'll do is we'll write lest we forget, say in this corner, you know, either there or across the top, or however we want to do it. But there you go, there's your lest we forget. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll crack on with some more tutorials. See you again soon, guys. Bye.
Yeah.